So a lot of you guys are saying that I'm not that ugly. Well, check out these pictures of mine during middle school. And guess where I would go during lunchtime? The school library. I go hiding at the school library because I was insecure of my looks and I had no friends. In this video, I'll share my experience being an ugly kid during middle school and what I learned to help me feel better. So if you're struggling with your appearance, hopefully my experience can help you feel better about yourself, and feel free to share your experience too in the comments down below. So I moved from the Philippines to USA around the age of 10, or I think around 11, which was around the age when I started middle school. And I didn't know a lot about speaking English, so I was pretty much just a quiet kid and I never really expressed myself. Since I don't speak English well, to avoid embarrassment, I just kept myself quiet and I didn't talk to anyone. And I never made friends. I never joined school clubs and whatnot. And the only friends I remember making was like those special ed kids, because I don't know, they're just weird, and I guess I can comfortably talk to them with my little English, and that took a lot of my confidence away at a young age. And at home, my relatives would always point out my imperfections. They would say I'm fat. Talk about my flat nose, because a lot of them have a pointier nose, and it's also a beauty standard in the Philippines to have like a pointier nose. You're considered good looking if you have a pointier nose. I look. They would say I look like a monkey. Some of my little cousins would say I look like a monkey, and I developed man boobs too, or woman breast tissue as a guy, called gynecomastia, which made my self-confidence very low. Like, I felt my self-esteem very low, and I felt very ugly as a kid, which on top of being quiet because of my English skills, my appearance made it worse too, and how people treated me at home. Also, my relatives would always tell me to pinch my nose like this multiple times so that it can get pointier, which I would do pretty much all the time during my middle school class, just to in hopes for improving my appearance. And at school, I would always do this, and because I was really insecure about my face, especially my side profile, like how it's flat, I would just cover my face like this all the time, and my teachers would get mad at me and find it disrespectful. And dressing up for PE is scary. But instead of dressing up in the locker rooms, I would always have my PE shirt on, so I didn't have to change for the locker rooms. And it would get really bad too because of the sweat, and we only get to have one, and we have PE for like 5 days a week. So it would get sweaty, and we only do laundry for like once a week. And that would get me sent to the principal's office for smelling bad. So I don't speak English well. I don't have friends. I looked ugly, and I was always stinky, and that made my whole experience in middle school really bad. And to be honest, my biggest regret in life is not living my teenage years to the fullest, especially around middle school. Like, in the movies, they would have like those younger kids, already having girlfriends, going out with their friends to like theme parks, going to the malls, and I never really experienced that. I was at home. Every after school, I would just go home and just be on the internet for days. But also, I don't really have video games too, because again, we were just poor. I just came from the Philippines. It was just recent, so we couldn't really afford a lot of the toys here in America, like the PlayStation, Xbox. So all I have is just my phone and the internet, and that's my experience being ugly during middle school. I was a loser. And all because of my insecurities with my face, my body, and the fact that I don't speak English. Now looking back, I learned a lot of lessons about being attractive and beauty. I learned that the more better looking you are, the more friends you'll have and people want to talk to you more. I noticed that I was pretty observant during my middle school, and I've seen that with a lot of the confident kids that have a better looking face. They grew up. I noticed them grow up throughout in high school too. They became the football players. They became the popular kids, and one theme that I've noticed is that they're good looking. They get people telling them that they're good enough. They get people telling them that they look good, and the fact that they're just good looking helped them really, I think, helped them become more naturally confident, naturally more sociable, which I never got that kind of treatment when I was a kid. And looking back also, I think I would have ended up the same way as them, as those popular kids in high school or college, just through having a healthy environment. And it's pretty achievable. So what I mean by healthy environment is the people in your house, in your room, if they would just stop talking about your imperfections, if you would just have enough people talking how awesome you are, you would have grown in a different path. In fact, if you don't have that people in your family right now, my advice to you is to do it to yourself. So instead of listening to them, say, like if they pointed out your imperfections, just don't listen to them and just tell yourself that you're good enough. Tell yourself that you are handsome, you're beautiful, you are awesome. And I believe that if you tell them yourself that a lot of times, more, if you tell yourself more than what you listen to them, to the toxic people in your environment, you're gonna grow up to be a different species, and you're gonna be encouraged to work on your appearance more. Even if you're like born not good looking, like me, I wasn't born good looking. I don't have a symmetrical face. I don't have like a light skin. I don't have a pointy nose, and I kind of look like a monkey. But I still work. If I would have just told myself like those things, and instead of listening to the toxic people around me that time, that I am good enough. I tell myself that I'm good enough. I am handsome. I'm all that. I would have like put more effort and work towards myself earlier than what I did than now. And I would have grown a bit more social today, more confident about myself, and probably got more ahead in life, career wise. This is why if I got a children, I would never tell them their imperfections. I would keep telling them how awesome they are, how beautiful they are, and all that stuff that I wish that I would have heard back when I was in my middle school and high school years. Anyways, that's my experience with being an ugly kid in middle school, and I hope that you don't have to go through the same experiences as me. And the way to do that is you can start by telling yourself how awesome you are in every morning, every night, pretty much through your thoughts, how awesome you are, how beautiful you are. And do that enough, it will motivate your actions to work on yourself, to get on a glow up journey or looks max. And trust me, you'll get a lot more ahead in life if you start doing that. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is just my personal experience. Hopefully you can relate, and if you have your own, please share them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them, and see you in the next videos.